Another 4 months for the elections for the state of Tamil Nadu, that is 2026, and we have Patali Makal Kachi leader, head Anbumani Ramdas, who has finished a 100-day Padayatra. Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir. So, what are the issues that you have seen on the ground in your Padayatra?
See, recently I had completed a 100-day Padayatra all across the length and breadth of Tamil Nadu. I had visited nearly about 34 districts out of 38. I have met cross-section of people, right from farmers to farm laborers, to weavers, to fishermen, to women, to parents, to government servants, to teachers. So all section of people, I have met them personally, I have interacted with them. The bottom line is that all of them are very angry with the DMK. They're not upset, they're angry with them. And DMK has failed them in their promises. And so this is the bottom line. I could feel the pulse of the people like. And they have given so much of promises to the farmers or the women and all these things, but they have not fulfilled anything. Also, I have seen firsthand about so many problems of in Tamil Nadu in different districts, whether it is farm problems or it's water management issues or pollution issues, educational issues or pertaining to rivers or forest, all these things like, and these could be easily solved. Like just for example, in Chromium in Ranipeta, Vellore district, this chromium pollution has been happening for 35 years. There's more than 2.5 lakh tons of chrome waste dumped in that factory. It's been there for 35 years. And the chrome has seeped into the groundwater and all that. People are drinking that water. The permissible amount of chromium is 0.05 milligram per liter. And those people drinking that is 277 milligram per liter they are drinking that chrome contaminated water. And that factory, that campus inside the factory, it has 5,996 milligram per liter in that factory surrounding. And we have a minister in that constituency. So this is the DMK. They're not bothered about people. And the Adyar Cancer Institute says that the maximum number of cancer cases are from Ranipeta district. So like these, I have met the mango farmers. I met the turmeric farmers. I met the jackfruit, the cashew nut farmers. So paddy farmers. All of them I met. And then we have this Kaveri Delta area we have. And this Delta area has been producing food for centuries and centuries. It's going to produce for next few centuries like. And this DMK has been coming to power for the last 60 years. And the chief minister comes from the Delta area. And it is unfortunate that we don't have facilities to store our paddy. Recently, I've seen that paddy has grown, outgrown, it has rotted. Lakhs and lakhs of tons of paddy has been rotting. And see, Tamil Nadu produces 1.2 lakh tons of paddy. And this government, they procure about 45 lakh tons out of that. Only one third they procure. But the storage of paddy is only 18 lakh tons. Procurement is 45 lakhs. So at least you need to up your storage capacity to at least 35 lakh tons for paddy. They have been ruling for 60 years and we know paddy is produced there. So this is the state of affairs of DMK. And they don't understand, they don't listen, or I mean, they don't want to do anything. We have a chief minister who absolutely has no idea what is happening in his state. He's just made a dummy. They keep him there, and all the officers or the ministers around him, I mean, they go haywire, and it's all corruption, collection. That's all is happening like free for all. And we have another 2 months to go, and now it's even worse. Like, so I can assure you one thing: 100% DMK won't come back to power.
But if that's the case for 2026 elections, as you said that you have gone across the state of Tamil Nadu, what are they going to be the highlight issues that is going to be dealt in this particular election, and what is PMK going to highlight?
The main thing is about farmers' issues. Second is about the safety of women. Everywhere I go, women come complaining to me saying that, sir, in our area there's so much of drugs. And when they say drugs, it's not just marijuana or ganja. It's about cocaine, heroin, abin, fentanyl. Everything you have in the US, you get it in Tamil Nadu. And it's very, very unfortunate that almost all the families in Tamil Nadu are affected one way or other. Already we have a huge problem with alcohol. We have Tasmak shops like. So that is something where huge problem is there. Like 3 generations have been affected. Now this generation, the Gen Z, is being affected by substance abuse and drug abuse to a huge level, and there is no safety for women. You have a 4-year-old girl being abducted, 8-year-old child. So all of them are just like every day you have this happening in Tamil Nadu. The law and order, there's absolutely nothing called law and order. So this is one part of it. Like so this is a big issue I see among the women. They are angry, and he thinks that he has given women like 1,000 rupees a month and like that. All these things, nothing to be like. They're not bothered about all that. Like so, and another issue about is like I see that this caste count, which they have not done. Nitish Kumar ji in Bihar, he had done a caste count, and he had identified what was the problem. And I could say his victory, one of the main reasons for his victory in Bihar was this count. And because of this count, he could identify that there were 94 lakh families who had a salary of less than 6,000 a month. He could identify 67 lakh families who didn't have a house of their own. And he started building houses for them. He gave 2 lakhs to each families who have a salary of income of less than 6,000 a month. And then he identified women who could be employed and who didn't have the education. So he had so many things like affirmative action is just not reservation alone. It is social welfare schemes. So you need statistics. And our chief minister, time and again, even though so much of pressure we have done, time and again he refuses to take a count.
But why?
I mean, he thinks a political way. Like Karnataka, they have done a count twice. Telangana has done it. Andhra is doing it. Orissa has done it. Jharkhand is doing it. Bihar has done it. Like under the Indian Statistical Act. You ask him, he says that we don't have the authority, and he says only the central government should do. We're not asking for a census. We're asking for a caste survey, and all these states have done a survey. And the High Court of Karnataka and the High Court of Bihar has upheld this survey. And High Court of Karnataka went one step further, saying that not only the central government, the state government can do a caste count. And they have upheld the processes or affirmative action done by this count. But our Chief Minister, Mr. Stalin, says, no, I don't have powers. He just wants to shy away the responsibility. And he says he is the social justice concept and all this, all rubbish. Like there's not an iota of social justice in Mr. Stalin or the DMKs. So these issues are there at the root level. People know about these issues, like, and the government servants, before they came to power, the government servants voted en masse for DMK last election 21, saying that he assured them that when he comes to power, he will give them the old pension, 2003 pension, he will give them the government servant. But all these years he has refused to do it. And when I protested many times, now only he had set up a commission, one-man commission, Gagandeep Singh Bedi, and he has given an interim recommendation, and then they kept it in abeyance that nothing is going to happen. So the government servants are very angry with him. The women are very upset. Farmers, they're completely at a loss, and they're completely upset with him. And laborers, everybody, in Chennai, the laborers here, like sanitation workers, like they are completely angry and annoyed. Like so, they're privatizing everything. So many issues, day-to-day issues are there. Like, and he goes on a spree, like advertisement spree, saying that no, we are doing well and nothing is going to happen. Today, the only thing which is just holding up is like the alliance is not formed. So I think your next question will be that, like.
No, I have one more before. So the last time when you spoke to India Today, you actually brought out data claiming that memorandum of understanding investment that was shown by DMK government is not the real one. However, the chief minister has reacted to your allegations, claiming that these are being said out of vengeance. What do you want to say about that?
I have a book, I have a document, and you can counter the document. Instead of saying that political, whatever vengeance or whatever it is like, see, when a chief minister says something, it has to be 100% true. We have a chief minister lying through his mouth. And I proved it in my book, in my document. See what they say. DMK says that they have got 11,32,000 crore of investment. It is only MOUs. And they said that 34 lakh people have been employed. will be employed through the MOUs. And these MOUs are going to be next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years like. And then I said, only 1 lakh crore of investment has been done out of 11 lakh 32,000 crores of MOUs. And I proved it in my book. And in fact, the government's cabinet, Tamil Nadu government's cabinet in 8 cabinets, they have approved only 1 lakh 56,000 crore worth of investment. They have approved that. And how can you have so much of investment if they only approved only 1 lakh 56,000 crores? So I said only 9% of the pledged MOUs have been invested. He said 90% has been done, 100% has been done. Then the industry minister said 80% has been done. Then after I released my book, then he says 23% has been done. And it's not even 23%. It's only about 9%. And he says that no, they will do it in a span of time. I said, that is what I said. I'll be the most happy person if people invest in Tamil Nadu because there'll be more works, more jobs, economic growth will be there. I'm not against investment. I want investment. But don't lie to the people. I've been asking a white paper or all these things. If you have shown me a white paper, this problem would have ended there. Yes.
Now coming to the alliance part, why are you still holding all these cards close to yourself? Because on one hand, we have like top leaders from another party, Sengotian, going for Vijay and such things, but still Anbumani wants to keep these cards very close to your heart. Why?
We are discussing the alliance right now. So it's going to take some time to finalize the alliance and then announce it and then bring everybody together and form a viable alliance, which we are going to do. 100% we are going to do. And I'm very confident that our alliance will win this coming election. And we have 3 more months for the elections and there's still time. And we will form a viable, very good alliance.
And how does a seasoned politician like Anbumani see one of the strong men from AIADMK moving to Vijay? Because now it is kind of projected like Vijay is going to be the next MGR. Will you agree with that?
I don't want to get into those nitty-gritties. I could again reiterate that I am discussing the alliance right now. So I don't want to comment more on this for other parties as well. I could comment on the DMK side. That I could say to you confidently that whatever happens, DMK is not going to come back to power. So that where I could assure you. But the other questions, just give me a few weeks. I can answer your question in a few weeks.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. That was Anbumani Ramdas was very clearly mentioned that in his 100 days Padayatra, he has gone across the state and from where he is highlighting the issues that will leave a mark in 2026 elections. With Daniel, Pramod Madhav for Today.